Hi, welcome back to My Perspective. I'm your host, Shelby. Today we're going to be talking about small ways you can create a low-tox living environment. This is something that I've been really introducing into my life about a year ago. It's small steps. We're not going to go crazy. We don't want to get overwhelmed. We just want to do little tiny switches that will ultimately make us feel better and make our environment more susceptible to a healthy lifestyle. This episode, we're not only going to talk about switches you can make that to just eliminate everyday exposure to toxins, but I'm also going to share some ways you can naturally detox and help your body. Our body is extremely resourceful and knows how to detox through our liver and just get rid of those everyday exposures. But I'm going to also give you towards the end a bunch of different ways that you can incorporate a little bit more to help your body and your liver detox from all of these things in our environment. But before we get into today's episode, we're going to start off with the segments. So my updates for this week is Max is finally back, and he's back until November. So we get a little bit of quality time, which is so much needed. He's been gone. I haven't seen him for 2.5 months. And I actually go to Japan next week. I don't get to see him for too long, but it's still been nice to go on dates and hang out with his family and everything. For my second update, I had a job interview yesterday, which was a really, really important job interview. I'm manifesting I get this job because it aligns to pretty much everything I want to do and be doing. I think it's hybrid. I don't think it's fully remote just because I'm near their offices. It's remote enough to where then I can spend time with Miso and I can focus on my podcast and my other passion projects. And it just seems like a really good job for me to step my foot into the workforce, and I'd be playing a lot of different hats. It actually has a lot of things that I would be doing. It's not an easy job. It would just be exciting and new. So I'm excited for that. I don't really have many other updates for you, but my obsession of this week is I went to the farmer's market on Saturday. I haven't been yet in Irvine, and I finally went, and I think my mind blew up. It was such a large farmer's market. It's at, I forget what the church is called, but it's at a church, and if you just look up Irvine Farmer's Market, you'll find it. It was massive compared to San Luis Obispo's, but Slo's is just known to be one of the best in California. So can't compare. But they did have a lot of farmers from Slow, which I thought was really cool that they make their way all the way down a 4-hour drive. So some of the things that I got that I'm going to get every single week because I am going back this Saturday. I got dates. If you have not had fresh dates from a farmer's market, you are not living. You're living under a rock, and I just got under that rock last week. Trader Joe's does not compare. He gave me one, and I'm like, yeah, he's just trying to sell me on another thing. I put this date in my mouth, and my eyes just blew up in front of him. They melted in my mouth, and it was the most delicious thing I think I've ever tasted. So I immediately bought a pack. My sister's friend's the one who took me, and she said she needed to go for this kefir, and I was like, okay, yeah, kefir, whatever. There's a variety of flavors, and she said the fig one was super good, so I'm like, okay, I'll try it, whatever. This fig dip was amazing. I'm going to get it every single week. It was so delicious, and I've eaten it for breakfast. I think I can eat the entire jar in one sitting. It's not that big. And then they also had hummus, and this hummus was made out of olive oil and all ingredient. There was no additives, no preservatives in this hummus, and I have not been able to find that in any single grocery store I've ever been, so I definitely bought that. I bought some tzatziki, wasn't mind-blowing, so I'm not going to get it again. And then I got my usual celery, and I got a gluten-free cinnamon roll, which I've been looking for forever. I actually overcooked it on accident, so that was kind of a bummer, but it was still yummy. When I go back, I'm definitely going to get milk. They had coconut milk, almond milk, freshly made, and you can get a little glass jar full of it. And I'm definitely getting the dates and the kefir again. Oh, I also bought a plant. Okay, crazy thing. I went on a walk with Miso just now, and I found a probably 4-foot fig tree just out on the street. So I grabbed it. And there's a bunch of other plants out there, so I might go back and try to grab another one that was really pretty. But I didn't even realize I have nowhere to put this plant. It's actually a tree, not a plant. And so that was kind of cool. And then I also bought a new rug for my living room. It is white. Is that a great decision? No. Which is ironic because I lived with more people and they had their decorations and stuff around the house, which I thought were ugly and I didn't like. But I mean, I even had some stuff that was mine out. So you would think that that would cause me more distress in my life. But for some reason, I think it's because my studio is so small that everything is very apparent, and I love minimalism. I love not seeing anything, and I want everything to be cleared, so when there's nowhere to put stuff, it just looks messy to me, possibly. But also, I think white just looks clean and minimal, and one of my walls is like a blue-gray, and I can't paint it. And so then that connected to my couch, which is gray, and then my curtains, which aren't pure white. They're kind of like a white, beige, gray type of situation. I think all the colors are really throwing me off. I just need to stick with the white because it makes me feel better. So I bought a white carpet. Is that the best idea? Maybe not. But for now, it's making me feel better. My house just makes me feel anxious for some reason. Oh, wait, that goes right into my thing I'm not liking this week. I have been extremely anxious for no reason, and I actually thought I wasn't an anxious person until I realized there's a lot of other symptoms of anxiety besides panic attacks, because I used to get a panic attack every single day freshman year. That's when I found out I had anxiety. I realized that just because I'm not having panic attacks doesn't mean I don't have anxiety, and I need to stay on top of my ashwagandha because that's what relaxes me. And when I'm done with my ashwagandha, I think I'm going to buy probably Array because I heard their Calm, or I know their Bloat's really good, so I'm just assuming their Calm is just as high quality. I'm not going to buy something until the other thing's completely gone. I pick at my hands when I'm anxious, and my mom keeps yelling at me because my fingers are just so ugly right now. I used to just get my nails done because then I wouldn't pick at my fingers. I calculated how much that is every year, and it's very expensive, so I don't do that anymore. Okay, moving on. The book I'm reading this week is Lessons in Chemistry. Okay, basically the story is super cute. It's about a little family, and she's a chemist. The story is based in, I think, the 50s. I don't know, a long time ago when women didn't really have as many rights, especially when it came to just pay and positions and jobs and everything. So that's a very interesting dynamic, but it's a cute little story. And that's what I've been reading. I'm almost done with it, I think. Those are it for today's segment. So let's just get into today's episode because I have quite a bit to say. We're talking about how to limit toxins and naturally detox our bodies. Detoxifying our bodies is extremely important to eliminating the daily exposures to environmental toxins we have. Our liver and our kidneys is what really detoxes within our bodies, and by helping our body and our kidneys and our liver detox all of these environmental toxins, we're preventing a lot of health issues from chronic diseases to hormonal imbalances and allergies. The benefits of detoxing your body can be improved energy, clear skin, mental clarity, your immune system gets better, balanced hormones, or just overall feeling a lot better. Before I get into everything, I want to say I do almost all of these switches now, but I did this over a gradual time, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed by all of these things that can be possibly intoxicating your environment because we can't control everything. If I was you going into this with no idea and just wanting to make one small change, I would just pick one out of maybe the 10 things I'm telling you to start doing. So before we get into everything, let's say, for instance, you want to start with your skincare. So then you're going to go through all your skincare, and we don't want to be over consumers and just producing more waste into our environment. For example, we're starting with skincare. You're going to use all your skincare. So let's say your moisturizer. When you run out of your moisturizer, you're going to then go and buy one that is non-toxic instead of purchasing one immediately and then now you have two and you're just throwing the other one away. Or maybe you bought a case of one-time use water bottles at Costco. Don't just throw all those water bottles away. Finish those water bottles and then go buy a water filter. And I just want you to focus on one element of your life. So whether that's home, like kitchen stuff, whether that's your skincare, cleaning products, the food you're eating, I want you to pick one area in your life that you are really going to make this switch of a healthier alternative when that time provides itself, instead of going full force and doing every single category in your life and turning yourself upside down, because that's going to be very expensive and overwhelming, and it's harder to maintain a consistent change in your life when you're doing it all at once versus slowly over time. Let's talk a little bit about where I started first before we go into everything. I started off, I think, in my parents. When I grew up with my parents, we really switched our kitchen stuff, I'm pretty sure, of our kitchen appliances, and then we went to the water we drink, then I think the quality of our food, and then when I moved out, I really focused on my kitchen. Then I went to skincare. So I made sure all my skincare was really good quality. I never really got into makeup because I feel like it's a little bit harder to find. But I slowly started adding little ways to just help my body detox a little bit better. Okay, let's start off with your kitchen and healthy cooking. So cooking with non-toxic utensils and cookware is, I would say, the first step to having a toxic-free kitchen. Or I don't even want to say toxic-free because there's always toxins in our life. I want to say low tox. Let's start off with pans. Non-stick pans are coated with PTFE. I don't know how to pronounce the really big word, which releases harmful fumes when they're overheated. That potentially can go into your food or make you just sick. The alternative to a non-stick pan is cast iron, glass, or aluminum. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And I know you're saying like non-stick pan, like I don't want my eggs to stick. I found a trick. If you put your pan on the burner, put it to high when it gets really hot, then put your olive oil or your butter, and then you put your egg on top and it won't stick. If you're putting it right on, it's going to stick. I promise your hormones in your body are just going to love you. Next is opting for wooden utensils over plastic ones, because this will reduce your risk of harmful chemicals leaching into your food, just like the pans. The reason for this is plastic cooking utensils, like what you pick up your pasta with or your spatula, those release toxic chemicals like BPA when exposed to high heat, and that can be contaminating your meals and just adding stuff you don't need in there. And especially if your spatula has been melted. So I remember my freshman year of college, my first quarter, I lived in an apartment and we had a plastic spatula, and the girl left it in the pan with the pan on. Even if the pan was off and it was still hot, it melted the spatula. And then every single time you go to use that spatula, it's already destroyed and those chemicals of the plastic are getting into your food just every single time. And you should just throw it away. Also, a wood or stainless steel utensil is probably $3 versus $1. It lasts a lot longer, and it's more sturdy. So highly recommend to just go buy the little bit more expensive. Just go to TJ Maxx and they have it, I promise. Okay, this one may be controversial, and I honestly haven't done too much research. I think this is just more of I think when I was in middle school, I put a pot lid inside the microwave and almost blew the house on fire. The entire house was filled with smoke, and we had to all, not evacuate, but we had to all get out because we couldn't breathe. Basically, there was a fire in the house. Not literally, but that's what it seemed like. And then since then on, my mom threw away our microwave and we got a convection oven, and we never got a microwave ever again. I have a microwave in my house because it was already in there, but I didn't have a microwave all last year, and then now I do, and I've used it to warm up a cinnamon roll. I've used it maybe 3 times to warm up a cinnamon roll. Basically, I used my microwave for the first time in 3 months of living here because I'm convinced of what I'm just about to tell you, because my mom told me this. And maybe it's not true. Take it with a grain of salt. But I'm just going to tell you because that's what I grew up believing. Using a convection oven instead of a microwave preserves the nutritional value of the food. I also told me it gives me cancer, but I heard that's not true, but I don't know. If I can heat my food up in 3 seconds, it just sounds bad to me. I don't know. Just discard this microwave phobia I have. But what I think is microwaving food can lead to a loss of nutrition in the food because it generates heat through radiation, whereas convection ovens cook food more evenly without the use of harmful radiation. I've spoken to a lot of people who have autoimmune issues, cancer, and they just don't use microwaves. So maybe we're on to something. Maybe I'm just making my life more complicating and I could just use a microwave and cook my food fast. The next one is using glass over plastic containers. So your to-go food, I just ordered basically a bunch of food dividers and Tupperwares that have not glass lids. They have bamboo lids from Amazon, and then I also found some at TJ Maxx. Storing food in glass containers instead of plastic ones will help prevent chemicals from leaching into your food. This seems like a common theme here, but some plastics, especially when heated or used with acidic foods, can release harmful chemicals into your food, which can potentially disrupt hormone balances and cause other health issues. It's mainly BPAs, and yes, you can find plastics with less BPA or BPA free or whatever, but glass is just better for the environment as well. It also just looks better. It is heavy. Or you can get those paper reusable baggies. They're not reusable, but you can get paper baggies or beeswax. There's a lot of other alternatives to using plastic, but I would look into it because it's very common. Most people have leftovers and then you put it in plastic. Also, if you're putting your food in a plastic container, make sure your food is already cooled down, because if you're putting hot food into a plastic container, that's when it's unsafe. Going along with the plastic, you want to avoid using plastic water bottles. That is just something so easy. So go buy Stanley, go buy Hydro Flask, or a glass water bottle off Amazon. Plastic water bottles contain chemicals like BPA and phthalates, which can leach into your water, causing hormonal imbalances or reproductive problems. And this is such a quick and easy fix for you because you can buy a water bottle once, one water bottle, and then you never have to buy them again. Going to the store and purchasing plastic water bottles, it's not that expensive, but it adds up. There's water stations everywhere now. When you go to school, when you go work out, if you go to the mall. So it's not like you're not going to have access to water if you don't bring a plastic water bottle. Okay, also going along with the water is to get a high quality water filter. Do not drink the tap water. It is not as clean as you think it is. And also Brita's is the lowest quality of water filters. So I bought one from Amazon. It's a glass one, hence no plastic. And it alkalines my water. I'm sure it's not the highest quality as if I was getting an osmosis remover, or I think it's called a Bentley or something like that. My parents have the Kangen machine. I've had that since I was in middle school. That is the best machine in the whole world, but is way too expensive for me. But water bottles have BPA. That can disrupt your endocrine system. Like I said, hormone imbalances, reproductive issues. So go buy the highest quality water filter that you can afford. You never have to buy it again. You just have to buy the filters probably, or the maintenance, and you never have to buy plastic water bottles again. You get your refillable water and you fill that up and you're all set to go. Also, the water actually tastes different. If you've been drinking alkaline or just filtered water a lot longer, it tastes different than when you drink a bottle of water. Going along with beverages is maybe something that is an easy fix for you, is taking out alcohol from your daily beverage. Maybe you don't drink it daily, but maybe you drink it more than you'd like. Your body, your kidneys, your liver, it's already working so hard every single day to detox from the environmental factors. So then if you're adding in drugs and alcohol, you're just making it harder on yourself. Maybe alcohol is what you want to take out. I'm not saying to take out all these things. I'm just saying pick and choose what you think you can handle. I still drink alcohol every once in a while, but I'm not drinking every weekend. I'm not drinking every single day, and I'm not getting blacked out drunk because when you're getting drunk, that's literally because you're intoxicated. Toxic, that's in the word. There are obviously things you can do to help your body detox, but maybe alcohol is something you can take out of your diet and just help your body replenish itself. Another thing is maybe opt for minimally processed organic foods, which are high in nutrients and free from harmful additives. Obviously, eating red dye 40 or not olive oil or an inflammatory oil is not going to immediately kill you. I believe that it gradually will compound over time, not kill you. I don't know that, but it's not good for you. Maybe an easy switch for you is to opt for more whole foods, or just when you look at the ingredient label, it's only foods. Like, it's not crazy random stuff you can't pronounce, because processed foods often contain additives like artificial preservatives and flavorings, which can be harmful to your health. Almost everything is processed these days, but I'm talking highly processed, like a bag of Doritos, when there's like 100 ingredients. Or okay, let's think about this. We're opting for better, not perfect. So if you go to McDonald's, there's dairy and wheat and a bunch of other stuff in their fries. But if you go to In-N-Out, there's only maybe 3 ingredients in their fries. So if you were opting on where to get fries, it would be a better option to go to In-N-Out, because that one is closer to a potato than if you go to McDonald's. That's what I'm trying to explain here. Pivoting pretty sharply is cleaning products. Cleaning products, I use all Branch Basics cleaning products. I actually need to tell my cleaning lady. I have a lady that comes and deep cleans my apartment every month, because I am deeply afraid of mold. And if I see mold, I can't clean it. I'm just debilitated. So I obviously never want mold to ever appear. So I have a cleaning lady come once a month to deep clean my apartment and prevent any bacteria growing anywhere. But I need to tell her to start using my cleaning products instead of her own. So a super easy quick fix is, next time you run out of dish pods, you go and buy a brand that has better ingredients. So maybe Branch Basics, there's Molly Muds, I think. Oh, like 7th generation. I don't think that one's perfect, but it's better than using Tide. When you're looking for something to purchase, say you're at Target, you're not looking for something that's absolutely perfect, 100% clean or pure. You're just looking for something a little bit better than you were originally using, if that's all that's available to you. Also, let me remind you, please use everything you have until it's empty and then go purchase something better. Don't just throw everything away. That's really wasteful and not necessary right now. So I think, let me see okay. Currently, I have laundry. I haven't done laundry in forever. So basically, when my laundry's done, I'm going to probably either make a solution from Branch Basics, or I'm going to buy the Molly Muds brand. You can also make your own cleaning stuff with vinegar and baking soda and lemon or essential oils. So that one is super easy. Also, so my last place, a lot of people use Swiffer to wash the floors of their apartments or houses. My roommates hated me for this, but I would get like a giant pan, and then I would put hot water and soap, and then I'd wash my floors with that. And they thought it was the most difficult thing I've ever done and made them do. And I'm like, how is that difficult? So basically, you just get a rag and you put it on the Swiffer, and then you mop the floor with that, which obviously isn't the best, but those Swiffer things don't even do anything anyways. So that's what's nice about not living with other people, is I really have control over the cleaning products we use, the soap, the detergent. While I'm eating off that stuff, I'm putting it on my hands, I'm putting it on my body. That's really important to me. Also, I want you to realize that everyone has to pick their poison. So maybe you love alcohol, you're going to keep drinking alcohol. Maybe you are blonde, you're not a natural blonde, but you want to keep dyeing your hair. That's your poison. And maybe we don't want to call it poison. That's what you're going to pick and change. Like, what do you want to change in your life and what do you want to keep? Maybe you got Botox. Maybe you love, okay, so many of my friends love candles, and we'll get into that, but you will not try to find a different, healthier version of a candle because you love your candle, and that's totally fine. Keep using your candles. Don't give up things that you absolutely love. Just give up things that you don't really care about and that you can afford. But it also eliminates your exposure to toxins and contaminants. Your shoes track in a variety of things, including pesticides, dirt, and chemicals from outside, which actually can affect your indoor air quality and lead to health problems. Who is not surprised by that? But this is why keeping your windows open is so important, because you're letting the airflow come into your house, you're reducing mold, you're getting that fresh air into your house. Skincare was one of the things I quickly changed to non-toxic. The way I did this was I downloaded the Yuka app, and I only used this for skincare, not for food, because I didn't think it was very reliable for the food. And I would say I was looking for a product, I didn't have it, or I wasn't at the store. So I would look up, I think the last thing I purchased was brown mascara. So I looked up brown mascara and I did the filter of EWG certified. And then I picked whatever one they recommended, which was Well People. This just helps you identify safe skincare for your skin, for your environment. Yuka will also provide information about ingredients. They both will let you know about if they have health effects, so if it's an endocrine disruptor, if it's banned in other countries, if it can cause cancer. It also can include possible skin irritation, allergies, or long-term health issues. So I really like both of those resources to just help me guide what type of products I'm going to use. And you'd be surprised about how many of the high-end or labeled clean skincare there is that's really not. Then you're surprised, you go to Target and you start scanning everything, and you actually can find a ton of products that are really not going to harm your body. And it's a third of the price of maybe a Drunk Elephant product or a Summer Fridays. I have learned that what it looks like, the brand of the name, is a lot less important than the quality of what I'm putting on my skin, if it's going to affect me one day. Because I truly believe that all of these things will compound and not be good. Something I also changed is I am not a candle girl. Don't buy me a candle. I'm not going to use it, or I'm just going to re-gift it. There are obviously candles, I think beeswax or coconut wax, that are not harmful. So if you buy me one of those, please do. Okay, so like my house smells because I have a dog. So I went to Trader Joe's and they had a cinnamon stick, and I put that by the front door. Or you can get an essential oil diffuser, which I really like. I've always been a fan of those. My favorite scents are lavender or eucalyptus or mint. It's just a lot better for you. And also, essential oils is a lot cheaper than candles, I think. Last way to eliminate toxins is opening the windows regularly. Formaldehyde, and also known as VOCs, and that can lead to respiratory issues, allergies, long-term health problems. So proper ventilation really helps with pollutants and mold, and it just feels nice too, to a little slight breeze into the house. I would not compromise on that, to be honest. I always like my windows open, and it makes everything smell better. So that's also a quick fix for you to do. Just open up your windows, let some air in there. Okay, those are all my quick tips and easy switches for you to do. I would say pick couple, don't try to do all of them, and see what works for you. Maybe cutting out alcohol is not an option, so maybe you'll start opening up the windows, or you'll go through your skincare. Pick and choose what's going to work for you in your lifestyle. And I know it's hard if you live with your family or you live with roommates. You can't obviously tell them we need to throw away all our plastic utensils and only use wood. Like, that's just not going to fly, especially if it's their stuff. I compromised when I lived with people by caring more about what food I ate. I would use my own utensils when I cooked, or I provided my own pans and pots and everything. I kept my windows open in my room. I never did candles in my own room. I obviously went through my skincare products. I changed out my laundry detergent. I've always used my hydro flask. I think I switched to a hydro flask probably high school. Honestly, maybe before that. I think high school. I've used a convection oven since I was in middle school. Haven't really used microwaves. Really been able to do what I could, but I wasn't going to cause a huge uproar with the people I lived with or my family if it wasn't possible, So now that we talked about all those things, let's go into ways you can actually help your body detoxify from all of these environmental toxins, because these are super fun too. I have 10 ways you can help your body detox in a very healthy manner. Starting off strong is hydration. You have to drink a lot of water. You just got to do it. I know everyone talks about it, but water and hydration is so important for you because it helps your body flush out toxins through your urine or your sweat. It just will help your body really eliminate and make the process run smoothly, preventing any issues in your liver and your kidneys. I have been a water girl since day one. My mom told me not drinking enough water will give me headaches, and I had a headache every single day. And so my water has been my best friend. It has been my emotional support animal since I've probably been 8 years old. I think I drink over a gallon of water every single day. I am always thirsty. I now put minerals in my water because I think I drink too much water. But I don't get it. I prefer water over like flavored water or flavored sodas or any type of beverage. Water is just my go-to. Make water your best. Right along with the water is dandelion and nettle leaf tea. Has antioxidants which can really enhance your liver function. And your liver is the primary detox organ, which supports efficient toxin breakdown and elimination throughout your body. I get both of these teas through Amazon. I just get a huge organic pack of little tiny teas. And they're also really great for your hormones in different phases. So highly recommend getting dandelion or nettle leaf tea. I would say they both have kind of a stronger taste. So maybe you want to mix it with some mint or spearmint or maybe a lavender. But I drink it on its own. And that's a very affordable purchase that you can go do. Sweating, everybody knows, eliminates toxins right through the skin. And this is particularly beneficial because sweat contains heavy metals or other harmful substances. Sweating just helps get them right out of the skin or right out of the body. Also, I want to mention that if you smell, you shouldn't really smell that bad. Like people who use deodorant, they're like, I can never stop using deodorant. Like I just smell so bad. I promise you, if you just let your body detox, then you shouldn't smell as bad. If you are really smelly, your body's trying to detox something out of you. Naturally, I don't think people are supposed to smell that bad. A supplement I take to help myself detox is mainly activated charcoal, especially when I have drink the night before. I'll drink it before I drink and then after I drink. Activated charcoal is known to really absorb all the toxins within our body, and it kind of acts like a sponge, binding to the toxins and preventing their absorption into the bloodstream. So you want to make sure you ask your doctor if you're on a certain type of medication, because you don't want to just take activated charcoal and then you're not absorbing any of the medication you're on. I take this and I don't get a hangover. It's honestly been one of the best party hack tools I've been doing. I'm actually getting tested for mold soon. I'm waiting for the test to come in, and I'm really interested to see if I do have exposure to mold. I'm pretty positive I do, since my sophomore year house was infested with mold. So I'm going to be using a lot of these ways to detox my body if the results do come back positive. Next is dry brushing. So you can buy a dry brush from a super cute little mom and pop store or Amazon. You basically are going to be dry brushing up your legs towards your pelvic area, because that's where you're going to detox. And then from your head to, so like your arms areas, your neck, your chest is going to be towards your armpit area. And then your stomach is going to be also down towards your pelvic area. The dry brush stimulates your lymphatic system, and your lymphatic system plays a huge role in waste removal. You're just helping your body a little bit with that elimination process. It also can help with bloating, digesting food, exfoliates your skin. So there's a lot of benefits of dry brushing. I've recently been more on top of it, and I just try to either do it in the morning or before I go to bed. It also kind of feels nice because you're giving yourself a little scratch. It doesn't hurt at all. And that is oil pulling. Oil pulling is grabbing a spoonful of coconut oil and swishing it in your mouth for about 15 to 20 minutes. And that's really good for removing the bacteria and toxins in your mouth. And if you have bad breath, this is really, really good for you. Your mouth health is also correlated with your whole body. So sometimes just healing your mouth will help everything else. I have been known for bad breath. It's just kind of embarrassing, but I know I just need to do some oil pulling, and then it also will help cavities and whiten your teeth. Another thing is purchasing a pre or probiotic. So your gut is pretty much linked to your entire health and your whole body. That's why gut health is so popular now, because just like your mouth, your gut is connected with everything. Probiotics just help you with good gut flora, which is really helpful for digestion and getting rid of all those waste and toxins. I use the brand called Seed, and it's a pre and probiotic, but once I'm finished with that one, I want to try the Rituals, because that's a pre, pro, and postbiotic. And a quick tip for you for purchasing probiotics is if it has to be refrigerated, it's probably not high quality, or maybe it is high quality, but it's not going to live through your digestive tract because your body's warm. Our bodies are not the temperature of a refrigerator. So if it can't stand not being in a refrigerator, it probably can't live in our stomachs. And then also, if you think about it, it was transferred from wherever it was made to the grocery store, probably not refrigerated. So it's definitely good if you can find a brand where they already have a strain of probiotics that can withstand room temperature and getting through our digestive tract. So once again, we're talking about a little bit about alcohol, but not just about alcohol, but caffeine. So when you're having a lot of caffeine or alcohol, that puts an extra strain on your liver that you does not need. Pretty much you don't need to get rid of it. Just limit how much you're having if you're having excess of it, or finding maybe an alternative that's a little bit easier on your body. Last one I want to leave you with is detoxifying foods. So there's foods like garlic, onions, broccoli, cauliflower, turmeric, and these all have a lot of qualities within the food to help your body detoxify. All of these sulfur-rich foods that I just told you about, they aid in the production of glutathione, which is a potent antioxidant and detoxifier. I'm currently in school to become a certified health coach, and I'm learning about all these different types of things. So it's super important that if you think you need to detox your body a little bit more than usual, you can turn towards what you're eating, how much you're moving your body, what's your daily exposure of plastics or toxic chemicals in your cookware. There's a variety of ways in which you can eliminate these things, and I don't want to be a broken record, but I basically am. Find what works for you, and don't overwhelm yourself. Don't think you're doing everything wrong, because just switching from filtered water from tap water or filtered water from using plastic water bottles is going to make such a huge difference in your health, and you may even feel it. One small step is better than nothing. And be proud of yourself for purchasing maybe this little bit more expensive product, because ultimately it will impact your health. What's more expensive, the $5 water bottle or being sick? It's way more expensive when you're sick and you don't feel good and you're always going to the doctors and your immunity is down than someone who's really paying attention to their health and just making all those little smart choices. But also, I understand that not everybody economically has the resources, or you live with other people, you don't live alone. It's not all within your control, but I promise you can open a window. You can stop wearing the shoes in your own room, or you can make sure that you're going outside and going on walks, or you buy a water bottle that you refill at school. There are ways to get around there's ways to get around our circumstances and just where we are in life economically or socially. So I want to just give you an encouragement to pick one thing that you think is manageable and go from there. All right, that is all for today's episode. I'm going to go get dinner with my sister and her friend, and I hope you go have a great rest of your night. Make sure to rate the show, follow me on TikTok or Instagram, share the show or episode with one of your friends. I'm trying to really get the podcast out there. But I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I'll talk to you next week.